Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you all doing? Okay, now today we are going to continue with the causes for the War of Independence. Here, let's see. Okay, in the previous class I did economic causes with you and political causes. Now today we are going to do social and religious causes. Fear of conversion, law passed by the British government, introduction of railways and telegram, and spread of Western education. Now, fear of conversion. Now, when obviously Britishers were there, they were sending missionaries. They were sending missionaries to different places, and the worst thing that they did was like they were telling people that if you accept Christianity, we will give you your land back. Now, here when they said they're going to give their land back, many people who were very poor and who were looking for their own land, who wanted it back, they accepted Christianity. And there were many people who were weak, and some obviously did not. But then we were scared that if they are going to use this policy, possibility many of the people will leave their religion and accept Christianity. Christian missionaries used every means to convert Indians to Christianity through the following ways: releasing prisoners who accepted Christianity. Look at them. I mean, seriously, they are releasing prisoners, so they accept Christianity. This is also a sort of bribe. Establishing educational institutions where study of the Bible was made compulsory. Now, when obviously Bible, the education of Bible was a must. Now, people who were not, see, our minds are like fire. Sometimes even we don't have that knowledge of a deen, and we study the different religion belief, and then what happens? We get confused. Sometimes we don't know anything. People might get misguided and go on to the different path, accept different religion. So all possible strategies were used by them. It was a must for us to study Bible, to create confusion in the minds of the people, like alert people with jobs and honor for accepting Christianity. Now they were giving higher posts, they were giving good jobs to people, saying that you accept Christianity and we will give you this. So for greed, people accepted, they changed their religion. Such acts created panic amongst all sections of the Indian society. One of them was also doctrine of lapse. Let me write it here. It will come, but still let me write it. This thing will definitely create a problem now. Doctrine of lapse. What they said to the orphans and widows, especially orphans and widows, that you accept Christianity, and then we will give you your land back. So many people did, like for good jobs and everything they were. So in the same way, they were really leaving their religion for the land. Law passed by the British government, Lord Bentinck abolished sati system. Now this also created problem in the hearts of the people. Sati can be written like this also, and Sati can be written like this also. Both spellings are correct. Now here, this system, this is the religious beliefs of Hindus, right? So when they saw that how they burn their women alive, and when they saw this, a women being burned, they thought this is so inhuman that they picked up that women from there. A woman was being burned with the husband. So when they saw this, they went towards it and they picked up the bride, the women, from the logs. It was humiliating for the Hindus. It was like, why they are interfering in our religious beliefs. But many people who were like very unhappy with the extreme concept, in some in religion, every religion, there's some extremists, right? So now when they were going through this process of humiliation and everything, many people wanted to avoid this, and they changed the religion. The Religious Disabilities Acts was introduced, according to which the ancestral property of Indians could not be deprived if the person converted to Christianity, as I told you. Lord Canning passed the Widow Remarriage Act. Widow Remarriage Act. He passed this, sorry, he passed this act, and according to this act, a widow can remarry. Now, in Hinduism, in Hindu religion, widows cannot remarry. Men can have, but a women cannot marry. But in Islam, we can. So for us, it was not creating a problem, but for Hindus, this remarriage act was there, and this again created ill feeling in the hearts of the British Hindus. They interfered in the sati system. Okay, then they interfered in this system of remarriages. Then they said, we will give you your land back if you convert to Christianity. So these things were creating a lot of ill feelings in the hearts of the people, of the Indians. Now here, basically here in the hearts of the Hindus, they were getting against the Britishers because many Hindus were converting, and they were scared that what will happen next, and they did not like Britishers interfering in their religion, and they were doing wrong. So hatred was being developed. All these measures were looked upon with suspicion as interference in the Indian customs. Introduction of railway and telegraph. Now through this, what are they trying to do? Now they are trying to tell us that they are here to stay. Now through technology and everything, they were making us inferior and making themselves superior. They were coming to power. They were taking all the powers. They were coming in higher position. People of all castes had to travel together. Now this thing, again, for Hindus was creating a problem. Right? Now why this? Let me erase this and use a highlighter so it would be better understanding. Okay, now see here. Caste had to travel. In the Hinduism, caste system is there. So when everybody is going to sit together, this cannot be taken. And you cannot say that railways, now from 6 to 7, Brahmins are going to sit, 7 to 8, this is going to sit, 9 to 10, Shudras are going to sit in the train. This is not possible that we can give, divide time. Now for, again, this was creating problem. So many people, because they can't sit with the lower class caste. They say that Shudras, they cannot, they are Malish, untouchables. They don't want to sit with them because they feel they're like, I don't know what, but Malish are them not, they just make them do work. They don't even, give them water to drink. They, if Malish passes by, if the Shudras or they touch them, they say we need to take a bath to pure ourselves. This is their thinking. So imagine when this thing was going on, and on that they have to sit and train with them. This was not possible. This was not liked in the train compartments, and this was looked upon as a deliberate attempt to the British to break the age-old caste system, which is something one should break. But this was again creating a problem and ill feelings. Uneducated Indians believed that the telegraph poles were intended to be used by the British to hang the Indians. Now this is what they were thinking, though it was not for that. Telegraphs are not for that. But because they were uneducated, they did not understand, and they were like poles. So they thought that they want to take out some grudge, and if something is going to go wrong, they are going to hang them. So again, they started creating problem, and they started looking up at the Britishers as their enemies, and things went wrong. Uneducated Indians believed that the telegraph poles were intended to be used by the British to hang the Indians who disobeyed. Now, what do I mean? Disobeyed. Some even believed that the poles were set for black magic, as they could help the British in knowing about several facts. Now, see, because in their religion, black magic is there, and superstitious. If you are, oh, oh, superstitious, one should not think like that people are going to do this to us. But yeah, because Britishers are taking so much power and they're coming in so much power that they thought that they are going to take over everything, and they will find all means to hurt them, create problem for them. So in this way, ill feelings in the hearts of the Hindus, of the Indians, were coming against the Britishers. Okay. Spread of education. Introduction Introduction of English language in Western education was looked upon by the Pandits and Maulvis, among others, as an attempt to destroy Indian tradition. Now here, by the Pandits and the Maulvis. For them, their language, right? For us, our religious belief and Arabic, Quranic knowledge and everything. We were not Persian and all. We were not ready to learn English. We thought that we will cheat on our religion. So now they thought, the Pandits and the Maulvis thought that these people, they are doing this so they can attack or destroy our languages. Again, ill feelings in the heart. Now the military cause. Religious issues among Indian soldiers, low salaries, dissatisfaction regarding the allowances, annexation of different places, uh, dispro disproportion between Indian and British troops, discontentment, general services, humiliation, loss in the Afghan war, uneven distribution of the troops. Okay, religious rules, issues among Indian soldiers. Sikh soldiers were initially told that they would not be asked to remove their beard or hair, but later on orders were passed for removing them. As we know, Sikhs wear that cap, and second, that they have got a long beard, they've got long hair. For it is in their religion, so we should not say anything. So it's in their religion. Now, these people, then they started saying that you start up dressing like us. Start dressing us like us, and you have to cut your hair, sorry, you have to cut your beard, and you're supposed to be like, dress up like us. Soldiers were refused to remove their beard, were dismissed. Now this is something that they should not have asked them to do. This was something wrong. Now in this way, they were taking over the army also, the military also. Mainly they were trying to, they were just looking for ways to remove the Indians from the soldiers. If you come to think of it, this was looked upon as a move to destroy their religion, and it was perfect, it was right, they were not wrong about it. If somebody is going to come and tell us that you have to do this, you have to do that against our religious belief, then definitely that is an attack on our religion. Again, ill feeling. Low salaries and poor prospects for Indian soldiers. Very low monthly salaries were paid. Now, because we were Indians, higher salaries were given to the Britishers because they were given higher posts. We were given low salaries because our post was not good. And they found it extremely difficult to manage their expenses with it. All high posts in the militaries were reserved for the British. Unjust again. Dissatisfaction regarding the allowances. Indian soldiers were not paid any extra allowances or remuneration for fighting in distant places. Now see, when you work, even when you work in an office and within the country you are there, so your pay is okay. right? But when they ask you to leave your country, to leave your family, salaries are better compared to the ones who are getting here, right, living in the same place. So now they are saying that when they go out to fight, when they are going for fighting for them, but they are not given any allowances extra, and that is not fair. Nothing extra was given. So again, ill feeling was coming, and it was just for the Indians, not for the Britishers. It was just for Indians. No honor or reward was assigned to them for the success in their battles. They would put us in the forefront. We would go in the forefront. We will fight. We will give our life. But in the end, what? We were not rewarded with anything. We would not get anything in return. The Indians were not given the credit of winning the war. So people were giving their lives. What in the end, if a person dies, what about the family? Nothing was given to the family. We are talking about Indians here, not Britishers. So obviously, ill feeling came in the heart that what are they doing? I mean, see, we are giving our lives for them, and in return, we are not getting anything. No respect to the family, no respect to the soldier, no extra money, nothing, no provident fund, nothing. Who is going to look after the family? But if it would have been the British who has died, then they would take care. They would get the best, and that was so unfair. A big majority of the Indian soldiers in the British Army belonged to Audh. They resented the way in which their Nawab was dethroned. Now, obviously, they took over the land by because of doctrine of lapse, or because they said that this person is incompetent to rule. So it went into the British rule, and the people under them, they were not happy. Why? The way the Nawab was removed first, and secondly, the way they were treated. They were not given that respect. They were deprived of the things that belonged to them. They were deprived of the privileges that were given during the Nawab rule. They were just bothered about their own people. They were not bothered about us. They did not even worry what we are going through, what our feelings are, what is happening to us. Least bother. For them, we were nothing. So obviously, ill feelings will come in the heart. We started like disliking them, people, and they were just waiting for an opportunity to come that they revolt against them. Initially, the British Army had a greater proportion of Indian soldiers. Later on, more number of British soldiers were added to make the proportion very prominent with less number of Indian soldiers. The disproportion angered the Indians. Now, why? Why in the forces you are keeping us at a lower number and more of the Britishers? Because they wanted to give them higher posts, they wanted to give them all the privileges, all the benefits, and what the soldier get in return after retirement and everything. And then this was unfair. Gradually, they were removing the Indians from the army, from the forces, because they wanted to take over everything from us. They wanted to tell us that they are the ones who are defending us and we are not capable of anything. Most of the Indian soldiers in the Bengal army were upper caste Hindus. They regarded it a sin to undertake a sea voyage according to their religious custom. Now, here we are talking about religious beliefs, a caste system of Hindus. Now, the higher caste system, they do not believe going through a sea voyage. So according to them, if in the services, in the army, in the forces, they are there, then they have to, and if they are asked to, fight, go through sea, then it was like they are, interfering in their religious belief, and they will cheat, or they will go against their religious belief, and might possible their Lord will get unhappy with them. When according to the general services uh, enlistment act, the soldiers were asked to serve wherever required, irrespective of whether they had to cross sea. The soldier resented it. Now it was in this act, the Enlistment Act, in which it was mentioned clearly that if you are a soldier, no matter what, whenever we ask you, you have to go. Whether it's by sea, by land, by air, you are not supposed to argue or pass a command. If we have asked you to leave, you have to leave. So now obviously the soldiers resented it. Humiliation of Indian soldiers by their English counterparts. Now, you know, they would look down upon us. They would converse in English with each other. They would make us feel as if we are nothing. And they would look at us, they would laugh. They treated us like slaves. We were not important to them. For, you know, small things, they would use us. For something like, go, do this, pick this up, do this for me. And they would laugh at us. They would make fun of our color. They would make fun of our dresses. Everything for them was like they were something and we were nothing. English is not our language. If we can't converse properly in English, so what? They didn't know Urdu. They didn't know Persian. Were they conversing in it? No. So we were not making fun of them, but for them, their language was so high, so respectable, that if someone would not converse and they would speak incorrect, they would make fun. People, many of them did not understand. They would converse in English and make us feel, even if they were not making fun, they would make us feel as if they are making fun of us. They would laugh. They would look down on us. Indian soldiers were treated like slaves and manual laborers menial labors. The British soldiers displayed a sense of superiority and abused the Indian soldiers verbally and physically. This offended the Indian soldiers and their families. The loss of the British army in the Afghan war boosted the confidence of the Indian soldiers to retaliate. Now here when the Britishers lost, so some confidence came. We thought possibility we might be able to fight and win against the Britishers. And so this gave us the courage and the confidence to do it. Uneven distribution of the troops in some important places like Delhi and Allahabad, there were very few British soldiers, as most of them had been sent to several wars outside India. The Indian soldiers felt it was an appropriate moment for any kind of armed struggle against the British and other opportunity. They found that they can go against them, as many of the British soldiers were out fighting wars. So they got the opportunity, and but it was because of mainly Mangal Pandey. It was because mainly of this grease cartridge issue that this war started. They took away our business. They destroyed the economy. They interfered in our religious belief. Parda was banned. They said women will not do parda. So it created a lot of problem. Like if I say here education, here they said co-education. God, what is going on? Okay, they said co-education. Muslims were not ready for it. Okay. Secondly, they said no veil, no parda. So again, problems, ill feeling we were getting against them. Bible, as I told you, they made Bible compulsory, right? Where we did that. Bible compulsory. So obviously, higher post to the soldiers, making us feel inferior. They were taking away our language. They were taking the main positions from us. Everything. Our land was taken away. We were not given the advantage of anything. Everything for them was just British, British, British. Indians were nothing. Just there to work. We were treated like slaves. So definitely ill feeling would come. And then this cartridge thing came in. This bullet, which we had to use, which had cow and pig fat, became the main reason. And it was because of Mangal Pandey who said today or never. If you're not going to fight with them today, if you're not going to stand today, they will even then take away your religion from them. See, taking away our land, not giving us good jobs, fine, everything was, we were tolerating. But when it comes to religion, we cannot tolerate. And this is exactly what happened, that they came up on our religious belief and we stood up against them. So Alhamdulillah, we are done with the causes for the War of Independence. In the next class, we are going to do the failure of the War of Independence. Okay, take care. See you all, inshallah.